This is NubTub at Hitbox Gaming, and welcome to the Negotiator Breakdown. So let's get right to it. From the top, we want to shoot for a 60% crit chance and as much crit hit damage as possible. The reason for this is the Negotiator gear set is completely focused on critting as much as possible. The main talent of this gear is hostile negotiations, and that in short, whenever you shoot an enemy and you crit, it puts a red mark above their head. You then fire on a new target, and when you crit that new target, it will mark them as well. Each consecutive critical that follows on a marked target will now replicate 60% of that crit on every single target that's marked. Now, stock, you can do this with up to 3 targets. That leaves 2 crucial pieces to maximize this gear set feature. The chest piece will allow you to mark up to 5 targets, and the back piece raises the value of the crit that gets replicated from 60 to 100%. Now this provides some pretty obnoxious AoE damage no matter where the enemies are at, and that's the beautiful thing. They can be behind cover or completely across the room. As long as you get that mark on them, you have about 10 seconds to mark and crit a more readily available target, and the original target is going to get ate up as well every single time you crit. If you catch a pile of guys coming out of a door clustered together, or they're in a hallway, and they're all bunched up, I would recommend spraying the whole crowd and marking as many of them as you can. After all those marks are out, it is just a matter of hitting the most available target, and then you end up smashing the entire group that you have marked. It doesn't matter if you switch targets before one of them dies or anything like that. As long as you're critting a marked target, every single one of them is getting damaged. Now that we've covered the green gear section of this build, let's look at the 2 additional pieces. The first stop is the Coyotes mask. The Pack Instincts buff is irreplaceable in this build. This not only benefits you, but your entire group, making this a great group composition feature. The best part is that it isn't reliant on you getting kills. You only have to successfully hit a target. The buff bonus is based on how far away from your target you are, and as you look through the buffs here, you can see that they're all focused on crit and crit hit damage, which only amplifies the damage of hostile negotiations and makes your AoE crit spread even greater. Now, the last armor piece is quite flexible depending upon what weapon you choose to use with this gear. I'm using the Contractor's Gloves because of the LMG set bonus damage buff and the extra damage to armor feature. I use this because I think that LMGs work best with this gear, but it is capable in the right hands to be used with rifles or SMGs, especially if you know how to work a room properly. Now, the reason these gloves are one of my main choices is because I love the Bullet King. This gold-plated gangster LMG it has a feature called Bullet Hell. And this allows you to maintain 100% uptime in a fight due to never having to reload. It also provides some ammo resupply for you and your allies every 100 shots that you hit with. Now, when you pair this with the supply line feature from the gunner specialization, you will straight up become a bullet factory. Supply line resupplies 10% of your personal reserves and 5% of your allies' reserves every 60 seconds. That paired with the Bullet King is just beautiful no matter how you look at it or how you add it up. There are several other features throughout the gunner specialization that really shine with that specific weapon due to the fact that you have to move from one target to the next without ever letting off the trigger, and the more kills you get, the more you rack up special ammo that gets handed out to everybody. This build is functional at every level of gameplay. I've personally used it in every aspect of the game with great success. It even competes with the current meta rifle builds, which I love, and it'll outperform them in multi-target situations by leaps and bounds. I've used it for Dark Zone action, heroic solo play, and even to stomp the time trial mission in the latest league activities. If you'd like to see it in the solo time trials, I will provide a link in the description. I use this gear to complete the American History Museum in about 4 to 5 minutes slower than the rank 10 requirement. So anyways, there's your breakdown. This is NubTub signing off. Good luck, and may your ammo never run dry.